Even if the original garments still survive, it's not like we can actually go and try any of them on. So throughout the course, we're going to be talking to historical interpreters who are going to show us what it was like to get dressed up in the past by using historically accurate reconstructions. Max and Richard, sorry to interrupt.
Not at all.
But we're here for the first of our videos with past pleasures for the online course, and you are costumed live interpreters for historic royal palaces and past pleasures. Could you tell us a bit about what that involves?
Sure.
Well, we work mostly in historical sites, playing historical characters that are associated with the sites, doing performances of a story which relates to the characters, but also being able to have moments with the public where they can ask questions in whatever manner they wish, and we respond as in first person as the character. And this is why we have to do a lot of research besides rehearsing the actual performances that we do.
And it's a way of obviously bringing the history of historical places to life. When you see, you know, Henry VIII or whoever it might be walking down a corridor at Hampton Court Palace or the Tower of London, it sort of just energises and enriches the experience, I think, of visitors.
And Past Pleasures does a lot of research to get the costumes as accurate as possible.
They do indeed.
And that must help create that character too.
Yeah, definitely.
It certainly makes you feel the character when you're wearing the clothing associated, which is accurate as far as they can make it.
And today for us, you are playing Henry VIII.
I am indeed.
And you're going to show us what it was like to be dressed as King Henry.
Except when I'm performing, normally I dress myself. So it's quite a luxury to have Max here dressing me. And of course, King Henry would have had people dressing him.
As many as possible, probably.
Well, it may take a few, yes.
Yes. Well, thank you very much. I'm really looking forward to seeing the final product.
Thank you, Sally. This is one of the things I can't do on my own.
No, exactly. It's about the only thing I usually ask you to do, or you ask me to do when we're doing this.
Got to make sure the lovely gold work shows.
I'll make sure I put it through.
Only the king can wear it and show it off.
Might as well make the most of it. I like your braids, by the way.
Yeah, they're very nice, these underpants of Tudor extraction.
Yeah.
Although I have to say you have to do them up really tight.
I've never worn them.
No, well, a colleague of mine was doing a couché.
Who was it?
I'm not going to say, but was doing a couché where they were taking off all their clothes in public.
Oh, yes.
And they're only dressed in this with a gown over them, and as they left, the braids started to fall around their ankles. But to keep them on, let's put on the doublet and hose.
All right. Next stage.
I have to say this is a bit like putting on a catsuit.
Yeah.
Because it's like an all-in-one.
Yeah.
It can be pointed, so you put on each item separately and then point it, but that will take forever.
It does take a lot longer. It's very irritating.
So just over the shoulders, Max, if you would.
Yeah.
Lift, and we are in.
And just make sure you don't have any bits of your shirts puffed out, so we can still see the gold work on your collar.
Obviously there's no Velcro in Tudor times, but this acts a little bit like a zip.
It does. It's actually, I think, a really good system. It feels really secure when you wear it. Obviously not very easy to do up yourself if it's a fairly tightly fitting costume, or it's obviously at the side or the back of a costume.
Yeah, and make sure the gold work on the collar's showing.
Yeah. There's so much gold work, I don't know where to look, Richard.
Well, there's no gold work on the pieces that won't be seen, but where it will be seen,
Yeah.
you've got to make sure it is. So now the garters, seen in a lot of the paintings of the time.
Mm.
You know, the Order of the Garter was around since Edward III, and echoed by kings and queens after.
Yeah. It's not too tight?
No, it's fine. I still feel my feet.
Good.
Talking of feet, next on shoes, I think. Nice and soft leather. And of course it's got silk in the toe to go through the slashes in the toe. Henry went through shoes every week, and he had different shoes, of course. Indoor slippers, which were made out of velvet.
There we go.
There we go. Got the basics there.
Let's have a look.
Oh, this is undone a bit here. Can't let the codpiece flap.
No.
A very important part of this. Yeah, what do you think so far?
So far, so good.
Good.
But it's sort of still quite. It's interesting to see Henry like that because you always imagine the layers, don't you?
It almost feels naked, doesn't
It does,
it? Just in this.
still with that.
But it shows off quite a lot of the bling, which will be shown off again by the scoop front jerkin, which we put on.
Yeah. Nice gold velvet. There we go.
What keeps it all together is the sash as well.
And that's literally just one or two hooks
Hooks
and
and
eyes
eyes.
there. And they're completely open so you get to see all the
Doublet.
gorgeous doublets.
Yeah, with all the jewels on. So I think now the sash around the waist and the dagger will be placed in it to show off wealth yet again with the intricacies of the dagger, the way it's beautifully
Very
decorated.
coordinated today, Your Majesty.
I'm all in gold today, although red is a particular favourite colour.
And would you usually start on the front and then go all the way around?
With the size of this
And
one.
I'm going to just cover where the hook
Yeah,
and
just the centre.
eye is there, yeah. You can lift that slightly because you don't want, you need to make sure that your codpiece is showing.
Of course. No point in having it if you don't show it.
Exactly. So,
You pull it as tight as you can, Max. if
yeah, do you
would.
want it tied at the back or just pull
No,
straight
no, no,
around?
no. Bring it round again,
Yeah,
if you would. I'll hold it.
you've got
Can
that.
you bring in the dagger? We're going to
Yeah.
hang the dagger off this sash.
So you need that on your left side because you are right-handed.
Yep. If you just allow that to hang. So hold on, take the weight of the dagger down.
Yeah. And you're going
And-
to stick that on the end.
Let's make sure it's more, that just hangs down there. And it's important to try and pull the sash as tight as possible
Yeah.
because the weight of the dagger is going to pull on the sash and you don't want it falling down around your knees. Now,
And
if you could pretty that up for me, make sure
Yeah,
the bow is looking stupendous.
How close are you prepared to have your dagger to your codpiece, by the way? Because I would often wear a leather belt as well as, you know, not playing the king, obviously.
No,
And then that gives you something to just literally put your dagger through. So there are a number of different ways you can wear your dagger, aren't there?
it doesn't matter if it separates the sash. You see paintings with the
Yeah.
king looking as if he's almost wearing two sashes because there's two bows at the front.
I think that's all right. It's really nicely decorated, actually, that codpiece, isn't it?
It's very much a feature of this time.
Yeah.
Show off your masculinity. Came to prominence, if I can put it that way, under his father, Henry VII, but really grew to the really fantastic size in Henry's reign. We're still going in Elizabeth's reign, but it started to die off, so by the time the end of Elizabeth, the codpieces are gone.
Yeah, it feels like there's sort of the feminisation of the monarchy kind of puts paid to the codpiece a little bit.
Well, it's still 100 years of fashion of the codpiece. So
Yeah.
this is actually the Order of the Garter pennant, but it was possibly a watch. They were making
Oh,
many
really?
watches in Germany. So,
What do you
think-
want next?
I think the coif,
Yeah, okay.
very old-fashioned.
Yes, it is, isn't
worn
it?
by clerics mainly and old people. I have a feeling mainly to cover up the hairpiece, or lack of it.
'Cause-
Oh,
Do you want to put it on?
yeah.
Do you want me to
But it covers
do it
up
for
the
you,
lack
chin?
of hair. So very, very much
do your
fashion
bow.
for older people.
No, I've only worn a coif when playing medieval characters,
Oh, it's very
which
much
is obviously
a
a lot
common,
more regular then.
common headpiece for many years. I think the gown now.
Gown. What I always find with Tudor gowns is that you never quite realise how heavy they are
No.
when you just look at someone wearing them. I mean, there's a real weight to it, and they sort of have to make sure that you don't let them weigh you down.
Also, they have a tendency to slip a bit,
Yeah.
so you're adjusting them. And then a chain round my neck before we put the hat on. So this is called a collar.
That's going over the top of your gown, making sure we get it the right way around.
That's it.
Does that feel like it's not going to fall forward?
No, it feels fine.
Okay.
So I think the hat now, Max.
Yeah.
People often ask why the soft hat and no crown. The soft hat, more than anything, is much more comfortable.
Yes, of course.
You remember I've worn the replica crown that they've got here at Hampton Court.
It leaves a mark on your forehead, doesn't
It's
it?
extremely heavy, and also it's circular, so it doesn't fit the head properly. It needs padding inside, which it's got. But it really makes you walk in an erect manner because you daren't lean forward, otherwise the whole thing's going to come tumbling off.
So you have a bit more freedom with this.
A lot more freedom, a lot more
Yeah.
comfortable, and King Henry's often portrayed in this soft hat, which is, of course, bejewelled, pearls, the diamond ouches,
African ostrich feathers. Yeah.
and of course when the king enters a room, everybody takes their hats off until
Except
they're told
for the king.
otherwise. My hands, though, feel naked. The last bit of bling,
Bit more
the
bling.
rings.
How many rings would he wear?
Oh, 6, 7.
And-
I would imagine, though, they would have to increase in size as
As he
the
got
king
older.
grew, yes, as he got older.
Because he obviously didn't wear a wedding ring. That wasn't something they did then.
No.
Do any of these rings have any particular symbolism? Or
Well, there'd be rings as gifts, but it's a
Mm.
good New Year's gift. I mean, gifts being given at New Year, so rings are always good.
so you've got all your bling. We can see all the gold work, which makes me jealous because I've only worn black work, never
Well,
having been the king.
you may rise to be a king one day.
Well, I'm not
Think.
ginger enough.
Come and have a
Play
look at me
Henry.
in full splendour.
I think you are ready to meet your subjects,
My adoring
your
subjects.
adoring public. Yeah. God save the king.
God save the king indeed, Max.